Hello, people of Canada and the wonderful Canucks fans. I'm back here again with another preview, and I am doing, like I said, the Canucks 2017-18 NHL season preview. And this video is for the 5% of people that watch my videos from Canada. Thanks, mates. I don't know why I said mates, that's from the UK. Just disregard what I just said. But thank you all for the most recent support on my videos, with the likes, comments, views, subs. Means a lot, guys. I just want to start off this video by saying, first off, I have the Canucks finishing 7th in the Pacific because of their lack of skill up front and their young players that they're going to have in the lineup. It's very tricky when you are a rebuilding team and you have young players. You don't know what to expect out of them, and your lack of skill up front is going to hinder you in scoring goals, in my opinion, this year. The Canucks recently, the other day, signed Bo Horvat to a 6-year, $5.5 million contract per year. I love that contract for what Bo Horvat brings to the table for you guys. I mean, he's not a franchise player for you guys, but he's a future first line or second line player, and he's a stud, I think. And also, you guys signed Thomas Vanek to a 1-year, $2 million deal. That deal has no risk in it at all. It's a very solid deal for you guys. It's only 1 year, so it's not going to hurt you guys with your cap. This Canucks roster is built to be a team to get the first overall pick. I'm sorry, Canucks fans, but that's just how I see it. You want to get the first overall pick. You want to get a player like Joe Veleno or Dahlin in the first round. You want to get one of them. Your first line is pretty good. The second line is where the Canucks fails, in my opinion, with both Sedins and Marcus Granlund. Then the Canucks have a weird third line in Eriksson, Sutter, Gagne. Most people think Goldobin isn't ready for the NHL, and I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning towards that he's not ready, just because he's not big enough. And also, but I have him in lineup because this team is not going to be competitive. So I just have him in there getting experience, learning how the NHL plays, and maybe halfway or quarterway through the season they send him down to the AHL, and he tears it up down there. Maybe he gets a spot next year in the line. Then we move on to your top six or your defenseman, your top six defense. It's old but not really competitive. The Canucks have a lot of players and nobody knows where to put them. And cap friendly, they have 15 players or 15 forwards under contract, and 7 defensemen if you include Weirkosh. You also have players like Boucher and Virtanen, Gauntz, Magna, and Chaput who are going to be battling for roster spots. But who do you bump out? Goldobin. You're not going to bump Gagne or Eriksson out. Burmistrov, Dorsett. Where does Vanek go? There's a lot of question marks, and everyone's got the clear waivers that you cut. So, it's a cluster. This is, in all likelihood, the last Sedin's last year. But there's other opportunities for them in the Canucks management. They've been loyal to the franchise ever since they were drafted together, which they might be able to coach, or they could be head of scouting, player training, GMs maybe at one point. There's a lot of opportunities within the organization. Or they might go to their GM and say, we waive our no movement clause to go to a contender and try win a cup. Maybe a team like New York or something. Someone needs 2 forwards, and maybe the Canucks get back a first and a prospect for them. That'd be very good if Jim Benning can get something like that out of him. Now let's take a closer look at the Canucks lines. Sven Baertschi isn't a first line forward on a contending team or on a good team. He's a second or third liner at best. But he's capable of 15 goals, 20 goals, somewhere in that range. And when the Canucks rebuild's over, which will be in 2 or 3 years, he will not be here with the team, in my opinion. Like I previously stated, I love the contract extension of Bo Horvat at 6 years, $5.5 million. And this is a good contract for a player whose future is with the Canucks, even though he isn't a franchise player. He's going to be a heck of a top 6 forward. And he has a great skating, a great shot, and he's good on the power play. And he's capable of 20-25 goals, 30-35 assists. I strongly believe that, and he can quarterback a power play. He reminds me of Claude Giroux in a sense, with the way that he just sets up on the power play against the boards, and he can pass to everyone. He's a very smart player. Then the Canucks have a heck of a player in Brock Besser, and he's capable of 20-25 goals, somewhere in that range. I watched him at college in North Dakota, and he has a sniper shot. He can score from almost anywhere. I've seen him just rifle his shots. I believe he'll be a good player in the NHL. Daniel Sedin will get his 1,000th point this year, playing on the second line, on the left side. And he can score 10-15 goals and still be pretty decent on the power play. The Sedins, they don't have good skating. They never really had good skating. That was always a flaw of them. But now they're very slow, and teams know they're going to cycle the puck to each other, so they'll just take away the cycle. Then center and second line is Henrik Sedin, and he'll probably get 5-10 goals and probably 20 assists. And then both Sedins, I said, will probably retire at the end of the year, or they can come back for one more year at a greatly reduced price, like maybe $2-3 million per for both. Or like I said, they waive their movement clause at the deadline, get traded to contender, and hopefully win a cup. I would love to see these two players win a cup, but I don't see them leaving the Canucks for a cup. Now on the right side you have Marcus Granlund, and he's in a contract year himself. And he probably wants somewhere in the range of $3-5 million, and he's capable of 20 goals. When he played with the Sedins last year, he was doing really good. I've seen him. Then you have a ridiculous contract that really can't be moved in Louis Eriksson, who has still another 5 years at $6 million per year, and he has no movement clause. So that's a horrible situation for you guys. But he can get somewhere in the range from 15-20 goals. He was overpaid for what he brought. I knew when the Canucks signed him, it was a bad deal, because you see that in free agency. They'll get really high goals, and then next year they'll dip down a lot when they go to the new team. It just wasn't a good deal. Then you have a very capable third-line shutdown center, Brandon Sutter, who is great on the PK and good defensively 5-on-5 and can score maybe 15 goals. He's done it in the past. I think he can do it again. Then the Canucks signed Sam Gagner this offseason for a cap hit of $3.15 for 3 years. Very good for what he brings to the table. In Columbus, he had a good year, and I've seen him play the Flyers, and he's solid defensively. He has a great two-way game. And I think he could probably score somewhere in the range of 15-20 goals if he gets peak or power play time, or if he gets top 6 time. I might be able to get top 6 time depending on who Travis Green puts out in the lineup. Then the Canucks acquire Goldobin in the Yannick Hansen trade to the Sharks. Like I said, he's too small, he needs to bulk up, and he's too easily knocked off the puck in the NHL. But he has a good shot and score 10-15 goals. If Nikolai Goldobin can bulk up and get bigger and be harder on the puck, he could be a very good NHL player. It's just not at this point in his career. He's not big enough, like I said. I gotta change my page. Then your fourth line center, I love Alexander Burmistrov, who's in a contract year as well, and he probably wants like $2 million. And he's capable of like 5 goals, but he's solid on the PK, like I said, solid defensively, and he's a good all-around player. Then I have Dorsett playing fourth line right wing, and he's a player you can rely on defensively and maybe score around 5-10 goals. I'd be very solid for him. Also, the Canucks signed Thomas Vanek, but like I said previously, I have absolutely no clue on where to put him. On Cat Friendly, you guys have 15 forwards, and some of them have to be cut and clear waivers. So it's a big cluster of Vancouver, and I have no idea who's going to make the lineup or be cut and go to the AHL this year. I have no idea. You might have a lot of people scratched in the press box most nights watching the game. Now let's take a look at your top 6. And it's an okay top 6 on paper. The top 6 starts with Alex Edler, who is a slower and worse Edler than he was 5 years ago. And he can still play good D and maybe score 5 goals. Then he's paired with a really good defensive defenseman, in my opinion, in Chris Tanev, and he can score 5 goals. I've heard a lot of Chris Tanev rumors, and I would like to see the Canucks get maybe the first-round pick out of him. Maybe you could. I wouldn't be opposed to trading Chris Tanev. Then I love Ben Hutton in your top 4. I think he's a heck of a defenseman who has good offensive instincts and can score somewhere in the range of 5 to 10 goals. That'd be very good for him, and maybe 20 assists. I can see that. He's quarterbacking a power play. That'd be nice to see him. Then you have Troy Stretcher, who is taking Nikita Trampkinen's spot, who went to the KHL, and he can score somewhere in the range of 5 goals. Maybe get 10, 15 assists out of him. You guys signed Michael Dozado, who I watched a lot of in Philly since I like the Flyers. And he's a good offensive defenseman. And the Canucks signed him because of Trampkinen leaving for the NHL. Or the KHL, not NHL. And his contract is 2 years at $3 million per. I like the contract. It's a good deal for him. And he can score 5, 10 goals. He could join the rush with your forward sometimes. Then your last defenseman is Eric Branson. He's in a contract year as well, and probably wants around $4 million. And he plays a good two-way game and can score 5, 10 goals when healthy. Now, in my opinion, you guys are really weak between the pipes. And you guys just signed Markstrom to an extension, and he's not an NHL starter. He's making 3.6 for the next 3 years. He's a spot filler, and he's not good in his starting role. And last year he had 910 save percentage and 2.65 goals against, and he doesn't look comfortable with the pressure of being a starter in Vancouver. Much like Jonathan Bernier never looked comfortable being a starter for Toronto. There's a lot of pressure on goalies in Canadian cities, and some people live up to it, some people don't. Like Carey Price, he lives up to the pressure. Then the Canucks signed Anders Nilsson out of Buffalo. I like this signing a lot. As a backup last year, he had a 9.23 save percentage and 2.67 goals against. Very good for what he brings to the table. He could play 20, 25 games, 30 games, somewhere around that range. But your future is with Thatcher Demko, who, in my opinion, is going to be a future elite goalie. And these guys are just spot filling until Demko is ready. I want to make a disclaimer. Sorry, Canucks fans, I'm not trying to bash you guys or make you guys angry. I'm just projecting what I see in your lineup. And I think much like Arizona, you rebuild, you have good prospects, and your rebuild's going to be over soon, next 2-3 years, and you guys are going to be good once this rebuild's over. So, thank you all for coming by. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'm out. I will hit you with the last Pacific team tomorrow in the Golden Knights, and then I'll start the Central the day after that. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace, guys.